Welcome back to another Alps Electrical solar installation video. I know you've probably been desperate for another one. And here we are back again with a lovely installation in a place called Stainton, which is just in Teesside in Middlesbrough. And we've got a great project here. This is why I've decided to film this one, because we've got a MyEnergi Zappi to install and a Fox system. As you know, we do like the Fox. We're not endorsed by Fox. I wish I was. Fox, if you're watching this, come on. The reason we like to install Fox, I think Fox, to be honest with you, has probably the most variations of inverter sizes and battery capacity sizes out of any brand. So it allows us to really perfectly spec a system. You know, we're not going to have to put in, for example, Give Energy, they have a 3.7 and a 5 kilowatt inverter hybrid maximum. So, you know, you're pretty stuck with them if you've got a 10 or 12 kilowatt array and putting in a 5 kilowatt inverter, that's no good. Whereas Fox, they have 3.7, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 kilowatt inverters, and obviously they have loads of great battery storage options as well, which our favourite is the Fox Cube. But of course we install Solar Edge, Tesla Powerwall, Solace, SunSync, Give Energy, to name but a few. And on this job, again, it's the Fox Cube, which is just a fantastic stackable system. It allows you to future-proof your install if you want more battery storage in the future. You simply take the top off, put another one on, put the top back on. I mean, you know, it couldn't be any easier, could it? So, you know, you're not paying an installer to come along and fix batteries to the wall. You're not taking up a load of space in your garage or wherever else it is that you're putting the system. Now, this is actually the second day because I didn't do any filming yesterday because we were far too busy. There was only me and Brad because Leo was selfishly at college yesterday. So what it meant was we were just flat out. And I have to be honest, Leo is the king at getting these roof tiles up. He really is. Me and Brad, we found it a little difficult yesterday, but we got through it, and as you can see, we managed to get most of the rails done. It was just the big roof that they're finishing off now, but we managed to get most of the rails done and the hooks, and we also put the 4 solar panels on the garage roof as well. We thought we'd just get that done. So that's why we're already a little bit into this project. Usually I start them right at the beginning, but we are a little bit further forward. And the other reason I didn't want to film yesterday, we just had to crack on because apparently Storm Jack is on his way this week. I mean, why do they name these storms? Like, what is the point in naming the storm? It's not like the storm's going to be like, oh God, I can't believe they said it was me who did that. It's like... So anyway, we've got to get this done before Storm Jack turns up this week, because the last thing you want to be doing is putting panels on in tornadoes and hurricanes. So yeah, that's why we just cracked on yesterday. So sorry that this video is a little bit further on than usual, but you haven't really missed anything apart from me doing a bit of crying and whinging yesterday, which no one wants to see. So I'll quickly run through the job with you. Let's have a look. I'll have to recap on my phone here. So we have a 8.64 kilowatt system. And we're putting in a 7 kilowatt hybrid inverter. Like what I was saying about Fox, how you can spec it bang on to what you want. If this was Give Energy, you'd be putting in a 5 kilowatt inverter with an 8.64 system. We don't want to be doing that. So yeah, 8.64 kilowatt PV system with a 7 kilowatt Fox ESS hybrid inverter. And this customer is going for the Fox 4300s, the Cube 4300. He's going for 1 master and 2 slaves, which is a total battery storage capacity of 12.44. So that's a really ample amount of battery storage. And like I say, with the Fox Cube system, there's actually varying capacity increments, so you can see how much you can really look into speccing a system perfectly to your needs. The lads are currently behind me though, just finishing off the rails on the southwest roof, and what we're doing there is we're putting 10 panels on that roof, but we're putting them landscape because we haven't got the height from the gutter to the ridge. Obviously we need to leave a 400mm gap around the whole perimeter of the array, 400 minimum that is, you know, to be conforming to all the MCS regulations. And then we've got the southeast roof, which you can see there. This is what we did yesterday. We got the rails on there, me and Brad, and we've got 5 panels portrait to go on there, and that's the southeast roof. And then the garage there, just behind me, that's the southwest roof as well, and that's where we've got 4 panels as well. So a total of 19 panels, and we're using one of our favourites at the moment. It's the AIKO Neo Star 455 watt all black. They are absolutely stunning. They really are. You can virtually not see any cells. They are pure black. So they look really, really smart on the roof, as you can see. So it's a good one, this one, because we're also installing the EV charger, the Zappi, and it's a long run as well. So we've got our work cut out with the cabling. We've got to get all the way from that side of the house, which is around the other side where the meter cupboard is, and the consumer unit is on the other side of that wall. We've got to get all the way from there, and we've got to come all the way around the garage, because that's where all the components are going. So the consumer unit for the house is literally behind this wall, about here. And then obviously we've got the electric meter cupboard there on the left. So what the plan is, I'm going to run the power for the inverter is going to come from the consumer unit. We've got spare ways in there. So we're going to run the inverter from the consumer unit. It's got a type A RCD already in there, I believe. If it hasn't, we'll put one in. So we'll run from the inverter, clip down, and then we're going to clip up this side wall here. And we're going to clip it together with the power for the EV. And the power for the EV is, we're going to get that from the meter cupboard. We're going to run off the meter cupboard, we're going to split it with the Henley block, split the tails, and put a small consumer unit just beside the meter cupboard. And then we'll clip that EV Ultra cable up as well, right beside it, so as neat as possible, into the gable end of the house. And then obviously that's when it's going to go straight through the loft. We need to have 2 separate supplies for the EV and for the inverter, because we do not want the solar to see the inverter. So we'll have 2 CTs coming from the Zappi. One CT, which will be CT1, is going to cover the main tail, so straight off the isolator, so it sees absolutely everything. And CT2 is going to be within the Zappi. You set it for solar and battery, and that's going to go over the main tail that feeds the property and the inverter. And within the Zappi, we set that as solar and battery, and we set it to do not drain as well. And then we also have the CT that comes from the inverter, and that will be placed over the main tail that comes into the consumer unit in there. So the solar is going to see all of the house, loads, and itself. It's not going to see the feed for the Zappi. So that's how you do it. But I'll show you more when we do that. I'll show you how we've actually wired that in more detail later on. So here we are in the garage, obviously, and basically this is where all of our systems are going to go. So we're going to have the inverter, batteries. So yeah, we're going to come in down there somewhere, clip along, up and in. Trunking, hardy backer, you know, the usual, and that's going to look lovely. But also this customer has some electrical work that they need doing as well. So we've got some sockets, we've got 9 sockets to add. A little bit of a minute they're sorting out there with the lighting that's being done in here. As you can see, this customer already has a board in here, and that's got sockets and lights on. That's fed by a 6mm 3-core, but we can't use that. You know, that's already taken. That's allocated. You know, we're gonna use that. We're gonna actually change that. That was the plan. We're going to change that for a 4, 5, 6-way board, something like that, which can then, we're going to extend the ring in here, give him some more sockets, because he's also adding a summer house or office on the other side of this wall. So by changing that consumer unit there, we can then put, like, when he's ready to have that wired on the other side, there's a spare couple of ways for lights and sockets in that space. Obviously the 6mm that we've got going here, that's you know, we can't be adding anything onto that, like EV chargers and inverters and stuff like that, hence why we're putting our own supplies in. So yeah, it's just starting to absolutely bucket down now, hence why I'm in the garage and they're on the roof. But you know, that's why, you know, you're the boss, innit? You know, that's the perks of being in charge. I mean, I can just stay in here in the dry, make sure my hair doesn't get wet, and once the weather changes and brightens up, I'll go and give them a hand. So anyway, the lads are just finishing the DC cables, getting them out on that bigger roof, and as soon as that's done, we can start paneling. Okay, well, we're sort of halfway through getting these panels on this main roof, and it's just absolutely tanked down. We've got all our waterproofs on, and now the sun's out, so we've all just stripped back off again. So we're just off to get some sun cream now. But yeah, weather can't make its mind up, but whilst we've got a break in the weather, we're not complaining. So well, let's get these last 3 up. Okay, so all the solar panels are on the roof, and we're just going to have a spot of lunch. And I thought what I'd do is just show you this solar ultra cable that I was talking about. So I'll just zoom in, but basically what we've got here is a 6mm. It's a 4 core basically. So as you can see, you've got an outer sheath, and then you've got the white inner sheath that protects these 4 cores. Yeah, so there's like the white inner sheath. So it's like secondary protection, and then we'll take that off, and there's our solar DC cables. Right, so we've got 4 cores, basically positive, negative, positive, negative. So that's basically saving us from installing, you know, 4 of these. Usually we would bunch 4 of them together and, you know, send them up in some conduit on the outside of the building. But instead of that, we'll just send this up, and then when we get into the loft, put this into a junction box, and we'll connect these up to our DC cables that are already in the loft by way of MC4s. So as I say, yes, this is the first time we'll use this cable, which we're quite excited to use this. So I'm going to film it if the weather permits. Like I say, we've got the new spit gun as well with the D-line clips, so it should make light work of this. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Lads are going to have some lunch, some well-deserved lunch, and we're going to look at, Leo's going to do the bird mesh after lunch. Myself and Brad are probably going to look at getting all of the AC and DC cable runs backwards and forwards whilst the weather allows, because obviously Storm Jack's on his way. So the more we can get done outside today, the better. Anyway, I'm going to have some lunch. So while Leo's on with the bird mesh and Brad's in the loft clipping, I am going to turn my attention to trying to take up 1 or 2 of these, which shouldn't be too bad because it's been absolutely tanking down for the last couple of hours, so the ground should be nice and wet and damp. So yeah, we're going to have a look at that, because this afternoon, while the weather's all right, we'll get our cables up here, the 2 EV Ultras and the DC cable up there, and potentially if we can get them, I've got some ducting from, I've just been to Screwfix there, it's only around the corner. Got some waste pipe, just some plumber's waste pipe. I had to, you know, just disguise myself as I ran back to the van. I didn't want anyone thinking I was a plumber, you know. So I just quickly threw the pipe in the back of the van and off I went. So hopefully no one saw me. So yeah, we're going to get that in, see if we can get that in tonight, and then there's a fence that runs along here. We're going to jump onto that and then clip along and then get into the garage. So yeah, and then clip obviously through the loft and then get it out the other side, and probably just leave our cables just hanging on the other side, saying that don't want anyone nicking them. Might get them clipped down the other side. I'll have a little think about that. We don't want anyone cutting them off, but I can't see that happening. I mean, that's unlikely, but you never know, do you? So yeah, let's just get cracking. I'm going to get me spade and get me Allen Titchmarsh on. So this is the other side. There's the fence, as I said, and that's what we're going to clip onto. It's a nice little run along there that we can clip onto that channel. We may have to bunch them together with some all-round band or something. But yeah, we can make a nice neat job of that. So I think I'm going to have to take this one up because I've got some waste pipe and I would like to try and put a bend on it either side. We've got two waste pipes actually. I'm going to probably keep the AC and the DC separate, not only because the DC solar cable is very thick, so that's really going to be on its own in the waste pipe, and then we should be able to get two of the EV Ultras in one. So anyway, let's get this first one up if we can. Oh yeah, straight up baby, no problem. That's come up a treat. Oh, I'm going to get some gloves. Don't want to be getting my hands dirty, do I? Oh, gosh, no. No. That's that one out. Take this other one up. Honestly, it's amazing how being an electrician, you can turn your hand to just about anything. Everything's easy when you're a spark. The only thing we struggle with is sweeping up. Well, I don't. Alps Electrical, we always tidy up after ourselves. That's nice. That's a bit different, the way they've laid that. So that we've just got some, obviously just some slabs of concrete that it's laid on. It's not like a nice flat bed of sand, cement and what have you. Usually it's nice and flat, so that's going to be fun, isn't it? But I think that's enough actually. I think if we can just get to that corner there, we might have to take a bit of that out, but that's going to be a problem for us. But I do have some cement, so we can always redo that cement there and make sure that slab goes back down all right. So I'll probably have to break up that what's there at the minute, because that's right in my way, that one there in the middle piece and this piece actually. So to get the SDS out. Got a bit of a channel there now, so we should be able to fit the two waste pipes next to each other, and I'm absolutely Charlie dimmocked. That was hard work, that. Much rather be terminating cables. So we've drilled 3 holes up through this gable end. Brad's just jumped in the loft, and I'm hopefully going to pass this cable to him. This is the, we're putting the PV, the Solar Ultra cable in first, our DC cable. So here we go. Oh, that is a snug fit, guys. The actress sent the bishop. I think that's in. I should say, I got 100 metres of this. I got the 6mm as well. And just so you know, it's about £8.50 a metre including VAT, whereas I think it's just aluminium cores, and like 4-core, the same size cores, 4-core 6mm copper, like armoured with armour in, is half the price. So I'm not quite sure why this is so expensive. Obviously there's no armour inside. All it is just the 4 aluminium cores. That's it. But yeah, double the price. I mean, it's probably because of the demand. I mean, I don't know. There's not a lot of installers use this at the minute. More and more are starting to, but yeah, maybe if they made it a little cheaper, more people would use it. Right, so it's time for the fun bit now. It's time to use my new toy. I saw a couple of other YouTubers, a couple of other YouTube sparks. There's a guy who does a lot of EVs, trying to think of him now. Anyway, I got the idea from him. He was showing you how easy it was to use this. So it's called Spit, obviously. Odd name like, but never mind, who cares about that. So I bought the kit, so it was about 700 or 800 quid, something like that. I've used it a couple of times and it's absolutely class. So inside the kit, obviously you've got your gun. This is the fun bit, it's the best bit. You've got your battery charger, and then we have a couple of spare batteries. We've got our gas. I've already got a gas in. You're supposed to take the battery out when you've finished using it, but basically you just pop your battery in there, your gas canister in there, and you're good to go. So I'll pop that in. I also like, it shows you like what your level is, you know, so let's have a look. Yeah, we've got full gas, full battery, and all you do to load your nails in. I bought this kit, but it's probably not the right thing to do, because I've got things I may not need, but only the fixings really. I've got 2 lots of these, which, you know, these are tiny ones then, but I'll probably end up using the longer ones, which are them. They're 22mm. They're the ones we've been using mainly. And then these are the D-line clips. So we just fire that in, bend that over, and it secures the cable. So yeah, really quick. So let's show you it in action. So we'll see how quick this is, lot, but just before I do, I'll show you how you load these things. So literally, you pull that back, and you just drop the ones out that you've already got in. Power demonstration. And you just pop them in like that. And you don't do that, you do that. There you go, they do, look, they just slide straight in. So I'll show you. Pop that in there, that's going down. You don't want to overload it either, because it won't fire properly. So there you can see them all there, all the nails. I've got the battery in, the gas is in. The last thing you've got to do is just, how do you do it again? Push. Oh yeah, push that up and turn it round like that. And that's made it, you know, live. Obviously you press against the wall and then it allows it to fire. So all I need in my pockets, instead of saddles, roll plug screws, a drill, I've just got this and my clips. So we'll see how much quicker this is. Really like this, really impressed. That was 700-800 quid well spent, I believe. So easy. Obviously electricians will understand the alternative with your drill. You know, you've got one drill for drilling, you might have the other drill for screwing, and you've got a selection of raw plugs, screws, and then obviously your clips or your saddles, your cleats. So it saves you loads of time. The clips are all fire rated, they're all metal fire rated, so we're ticking every box as far as the MCS is concerned, which is what we want. So yeah, definitely recommend the Pulsar Spit. So that's it, that's the end of the day, and as the lads depart and the poor boss has to stay behind to do a bit more filming, it's been a good day. You know, we've been very, very lucky with the weather. I'm a good boss, mate. I'm a good boss. It's not even 4:30. We've been very lucky with the weather today. I mean, it did tank down for like an hour, but we thought that was it for the whole day. So it's all good. You know, we've got all the panels done, all the bird meshes done. You know, Leo, the bird mesh king, has flown around there and made light work of it. And we've obviously got the cables dressed now down that wall. They look really, really good. I'm really pleased with how they've gone, and yeah, I'm pleased. To be honest, that Spit gun, honestly, if anyone's thinking about getting it, just get it. It's amazing. Yeah, it was not cheap, but that's going to save us a ton of time and money as well. And it looks neater, so you know what's not to like. So yeah, we've got the cables dressed all the way down this side. They're all the way through the loft and poking out the other side. The only thing we've got to do tomorrow, dress them in the loft, dress them down the other side, and then it's time to start all the AC side of things. We've got the hardy backer and all the bits ready to start installing all the inverter and batteries and everything else. And then we've also got like lots of electrical work to do in the garage as well. So still an awful lot to do, but we've got a couple of days that we've allocated left for this job. But yeah, thank you to the weather gods for being kind to us today. Really appreciate it. But you know who's coming tomorrow? Apparently it's Storm Jack, or Hurricane Jack, or whatever you want to call him. So we'll see what he's made of, eh? So see you tomorrow. Well, it's the next day and Storm What's-His-Face has definitely arrived. It hasn't stopped peeing down. It's been absolutely torrential rain. Very dangerous on the roads this morning. And the wind is stronger than it was yesterday. It's not that bad, but definitely not a day for solar panels. So I'm so glad that we finished the roof yesterday, got all the bird mesh done as well. The lads have just finished the cables through the loft, which look absolutely beautiful. They've done a fantastic job of that. As you can see, all the DC cables are labelled, and then we've got the armouds running together with all-round band, and they use that fantastic spit gun as well. So yeah, with it being such a miserable day, we've got lots and lots of work to do in the garage, so it's a perfect opportunity to get on with all this work behind, get the inverter batteries on the wall and all the other gubbins that comes with that. If it dries up a little bit, we could look to get our cables into the garage because they're currently just sat outside. We need to clip them across the fence and get them into the garage, and then we can dress them across and get them connected in as well. And then there's a lot of work to do in the garage. There's 9 double sockets to add in. We're changing that consumer unit behind us for a bigger one. So there's lots to do in here, so we can use, well, if it's a miserable day, we can just get on with this sort of stuff. So all good. So yeah, let's get on with it. So the hardy backer's on the wall now, and the next step is to get all these battery modules out, because what we want to do is get them stacked in position so that we can you know, see where we want our inverter mounted. Because it's weird, like with these Fox inverters, sometimes they provide you with nice long leads and sometimes they are short leads, and it just seems to be like a lottery. You don't know what you're going to get, but sometimes they're like about 3 meters long, sometimes they're about that long, so you're governed as to where you can put your inverter. Well, let's get these batteries out. So when you open up the Fox Cube batteries, you will find the feet, or the legs, whatever you want to call them, in the master box. And what you do is you just select whichever one of the slave modules to put your feet on. You're going to come in handy, these feet, actually, because they are adjustable. And they're going to come in handy on this situation because where this sits, he's got some like gym floor in here, some matting, which doesn't go right to the wall. So, you know, we'll be able to put the back ones a little bit lower down than the front, just so that we get them bang level. We can adjust these when we've got the battery in place. Dead easy to adjust them. Also in the master box, you get your DC connectors, but also this little this bung here. It's just got like 2 pins on it, and that needs to go into the bottom slave battery module. If you don't put that in, it won't work. So yeah, and also, unfortunately, on this occasion, we have the short leads. Fox, if you're watching this, please just supply the long leads. There are occasions where you supply these battery leads and they've got like a sort of like a coiled sheath around them, and they're about 3 times the length of that, which makes it a lot easier for ourselves, because this customer has 3 modules which might sit sort of this height, and then, you know, we would like to put the inverter as high up as we can to allow for more modules to be put in place in future. But what the short leads mean is that, you know, we can't put the inverter, we can only put the inverter as high as these leads will allow, because these leads connect into the top of the master battery and then into the inverter. So, you know, we try and do it, but obviously we want it to look neat as well. So you need longer cables, Fox, please. Yeah, but we always still make it look as neat as we can. But what you don't want is to have to, you know, if he wants an extra couple of battery modules next year, we have to start messing around moving, you know, the trunk in and the inverter. And so come on, we want the long leads every time, Fox. Hopefully you'll listen to me, probably won't, but anyway. So yeah, we've got the legs in now. So what we're going to do is we will give this little bit a sweep and a hoover, and then we'll put the battery modules in place. We'll show you that as well, and then we can start getting everything else mounted. So as you can see, adjusting the legs is very straightforward. That took all of like 30 seconds, and now this is nice and level. And I just wanted to show you, so this is what, I don't think I've showed this in great detail before, but basically the connection between the 2 modules is as simple as a little plug here. So there's no leads that go between the modules, hence why it's super easy to add to them in future, which is what I keep telling people, which is definitely a consideration that you should be thinking about, because when you want to add more, you want it to be as cost effective as possible. So yeah, let's get this other module on, Leo, and show them just how easy it is to plonk the next one on, which is just here. That's it. And that's it. As easy as that. So now this is the master going on. And that's it, the master's on. That was easy. Hey, I'll show you the connections on the other side. So this is the top module. This is the master, and this is where all of our connections go in. Basically, you've got your positive and negative, and you have your communication cable, and then you've got your earth bond as well, which goes on here. So you've got the 4 cables that go between, and here you have your master switch. So you just unscrew that and lift that case up, and that's how you turn your battery on, your main master switch. And you've also got a little silver button there as well. So yeah, that's it. Fox Cube. So what we've done there, guys, is obviously we've plugged our cables in, our battery cables that need to run to the inverter. And we do that so that we can gauge, you know, what we're playing with here, because what we don't want is this, you know, like just cables just hanging in midair. You know, we need to dress them. It has to look nice and obviously be safe, and cables be supported. So this is the issue we have. What I was saying, you see, if we had plenty of length on these, at least another metre, it gives us a lot more play to be able to get them really neat and out of the way. You know, we don't want them getting pulled or snagged, or, you know, this is in a garage, so anything could happen. So we need to keep them nice and taut, and, you know, we put them in some trunking. So we're governed by how long these are. So we're going to get the inverter as high as we can to allow extra modules. We should be able to just about get another 2 here without having to change everything, but we're looking at about the bottom of the inverter being around there, I'd say. Maximum, that's about as low as we can dare to go. So then 23 from the bottom of the inverter to the bottom of the bracket. There you have, you got the Gary Neville. Okay, so we've obviously got the inverter on now. We've got the couple of 50x50 bits of trunk in either side. One for the DC, one for the AC side. Probably bring the DC cables down this one, and because they'll loop into the left side of the inverter, so that's going to be better, bringing them that side. And then AC down the right side. Usually we put a bit of 50x50 underneath, but we can't when the cables from the batteries are too short. So we just basically put a little bit of trunk in there for the battery cables, and we tend to put our isolators against the side of the trunking like this. If Leo can just step to the side and show you there. So I think that's what we'll do, mount them like that, and then the AC on the other side, just like that, and then we'll gland out of the AC straight into the inverter. Our first AC isolator and the generation meter are going to go in the cupboard next to the in the electric cupboard basically. And Brad's outside. He elected. We said who wants to do what, and Brad said, please can I do the cables in the ditch in the rain? So we said, yeah, if that's what you want to do. So yeah, we're in the dry doing this. Okay, so we're nearly at the end of our third day. It is 10 to 4. We're due to finish at 4:30. I'll give the lads a fly. We'll get away about 25 past, something like that. So we're just having a little go at the electrics in here because we've tidied up. Place looks spick and span. And yeah, we've finished pretty much all the solar side in here. Well, we have finished it. All that we've got to do now is tomorrow is just to do all of the AC side at the origin, connect into the board and get this powered up. I'll commission that. Brad will probably do all the EV consumer unit in the morning, get that connected in, and then yeah, a bit of commissioning, and maybe Leo can wire all the garage sockets and everything like that tomorrow. So yeah, we're just going to pop this new board on. We've already took it off and we're going to swap that over for the new one. And Brad's just marking out for some sockets and stuff, just to kill the last half hour or so, and then we'll get off. But yeah, it's been a good day. It looks really good. I'm really pleased with the progress. Hope you've enjoyed watching the video so far. Keep watching and see how this job ends. Hopefully it all works at the end of the day. Fingers crossed. We're blessed with a beautiful day. It's a bit crisp, but I'm not complaining as long as it's not windy and raining. Brad's just currently up in the loft there. He's just connecting in. He's already made off the MC4s. He's just going to connect them together and make the strings live down the bottom so I can get a voltage test on them. And then the scaffolders are hopefully arriving later today as well to get the scaffold away. We like to try and get it away as quickly as possible, weather depending obviously. It's always a little feather in our cap with the customers if we can get the scaffold gone as soon as possible. So yeah, really good. What we're planning on doing today is Leo and myself, I think, is probably going to work in the garage. We've just got like 9 or 10 double sockets to add in, a couple of outside lights that the customer's after, just a few extras there that he was wanting electrically in the garage. So we're going to get on with that, and Brad is going to, once he's connected those strings together, he's going to run round the other side of the house and make a start on the outdoor consumer unit for the EV charger, and then get the cables clipped round to the back of the consumer unit, because that's where we're going to be feeding our inverter from. So there's a bit of manipulating to do there in terms of the CT clamps, and I'm going to show you that in more detail. So keep watching if you're interested in finding out how to position the CTs in order for the solar to not see the EV charger, and therefore when you plug your car in, it doesn't draw from the solar and the battery. I know I do keep harping on about this thing, but my God, is it a time saver. This is because this is the first opportunity we've had to really use it on this job, with obviously all the long cable runs, and it's just worth its weight in gold. It really is. Credit where credit's due. You know, any electrician, it just saves a ton of time. You know, it saves, obviously the alternative is drilling, plugging, screwing. You know, you've got pocket full of you know, cleats, plugs, screws, and then you got your 2 drills. What a drill! Like, watch how quick this is. I mean, I've just got to go across this bottom row here and just fire a few of these in. And the other good thing about it is, I mean, you don't usually, when you're putting sort of cleats in, you know, we'll be careful to space them so that, because obviously they're visible, you know, you want them to look all well spaced. Really, there is no rhyme or reason to these things, these D-line clips. It's not essential that, you know, you get them equally spaced, because you can't see them at all. Well, you can if you look right up close to the cable, but it makes no odds whether they are well equally spaced or not. Obviously you want them spaced well enough to support the cable, but it doesn't matter if one's 400 and one's 450, makes no odds. So I can just whiz along here without measuring, just pop them in where I think, you know, equally spaced-ish. One more, I reckon. That'll get us into the bottom of that board, nice. Yeah. And then we'll do a turn up to the board, probably about here somewhere. I'll leave the last one because we're going to gland into the bottom of that board. How easy was that? Saves loads of time, loads of effort. You know, life's difficult enough, isn't it? Why make it any more harder for yourself? So that looks nice and neat. Right, so as you can see, I've stripped the Cat 5s, because what we've done is, like I say, we've had to run the feed for the inverter, even though it's not supplied from this board. We've had to run it through here because basically we're going to join live, neutral and earth together, but I want to put a CT2, which comes from the Zappi, we're going to put over the line that's coming to and from the inverter, yeah? So that's going to monitor the solar and battery, and that's where we set the Zappi to not drain the battery. So that's why we've come through the board, so we can get a hold of this, put a CT clamp over here within this board, and that's going to be on CT2, which is on this cable here, and it's actually the orange. So that's the one we used. So CT2 is orange, CT1 for the Zappi is blue, and that CT is going to go over the main line that comes from the DNO, because that is to monitor the entire installation, including the EV and the solar and the house and everything. That's going to monitor everything. That is only going to monitor the solar and battery, and that's why we need the second CT clamp over here. And then we're going to join back through, basically live, neutral and earth is going to join straight back through to go to the board for the inverter. And I used the green out of this Cat 5 for the inverter CT. So that's going to go over there. and then the inverter CT is going to go over the main line that's basically supplying the property. I hope that makes sense. Right, so as you can see, the EV is now working, and I've already set the CTs. I'm going to show you how to do that. You go into the menu, down to other settings, down to installer settings, keep pressing the plus button to get through the password, and then you're into the installer menu, down to CT config, and there you've got your options. So we've got CT1 as grid, which is just how it comes, and CT2, I've set that to gen and battery. You have got other options in that menu, battery only and etc, generation only, but we've got solar and battery, so that's set to gen and battery. So that's obviously, like I say, CT2 is just monitoring the solar only, whereas CT1 is monitoring the whole of the property. So the other thing you do is go back. I think it might be down to system. No, supply grid actually, I think it is. So into supply grid, down to network, and then you can change battery there. You can select it to avoid drain. So that's what we've done. So that now, when you plug the car in, it should not be draining. But I'll show you at the meter end now what we've done in there and how we've positioned the CTs. So obviously this is where all the sort of CT magic happens, and this is how we manage to separate everything. So in here we've installed a Henley block, which is a 100 amp connector block basically, and what that allows us to do is split the meter tails. So the main meter tails that run from the smart meter through the isolator, we put them into the Henley block, and then that allows us to split off and add our board here. So we've added our board for the EV charger, and we've also connected in the house main tails back in, because they were originally just going straight into the bottom of that isolator. So what we've got here CT wise, this is the inverter CT clamp. That's obviously coming from the inverter in the garage. So what that's monitoring, it's monitoring the consume unit in the house, which is feeding, of course, the whole of the property and the inverter itself. So it's able to see all the load that's going on in the property and its own solar production and its own load. Then we have the CT here. This one's at the top. This is the MyEnergi Zappi CT. This is CT1, and this is the one that's monitoring the grid. It's basically monitoring the whole load, absolutely everything, including the EV charge, including the inverter and everything in all the house. And the crucial thing is the board is separate, you see here. So the inverter is not fed from the same place as the EV, and that allows us to split the two so that the inverter can't see the EV charger. So the EV charger also has a second CT, which is actually in here. On the right side here is the EV cable, on the left side is the inverter cable, and we've run that straight through that board, which allowed us to put a CT clamp over the main live, or the line is the correct terminology, but if you're just a normal person, not electrician, not normal, I don't mean you're normal, I mean you're not an electrician, you would use the word live, but they've changed it to line now, I don't know, just to confuse everyone, I guess. So the main live I'm going to use has got the CT clamp for CT2 for the Zappi, because obviously this is the solar and battery supply. So that means that the Zappi on CT2 is only monitoring the solar. So basically, with the most common energy tariff, which seems to be, especially with EV chargers, is Octopus Intelligent Go, they can initiate a cheap period charge at any time in the afternoon, not just at night. Before, when it was just a set time during the night, didn't need to do all this configuration. You could just program your EV to charge at the same time as your batteries overnight. So obviously your car's not going to drain from your battery, and that was it. But now with this intelligent Go, where they can initiate a cheap charge as and when they see fit, it just changed matters a little bit, you know, because you might plug your car in at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and as soon as you do, the solar will see it as a load, like it would a kettle or anything else, and it'll go to supply it. So, you know, you don't want that, because it's going to pull from your battery that you're trying to save for, you know, tea time and things like that. But also with forced discharge in your batteries, because a lot of customers do that. I do it myself with my own solar at home. I charge them every single night throughout the whole year to 100%, and then I'm exporting sooner. As soon as the sun comes up, hits the panels, I'm exporting all day long. And on a nice sunny day like this, I'll have 100% in my batteries by 4 p.m. And I force discharge mine back to the grid at the best time and get more money for it. And so with Octopus Intelligent Go customers, you'll want to force discharge as well. You might do, but if you do that and the charger sees it, it'll go, oh, I'll have that, and it'll put it in the car, and that's not what you want. You want to send it back to the grid and get some megabucks for it. Not really megabucks, but you know, it helps. Avoiding the solar C in the car is a good idea. It's a good move. It helps just save even more money and make the system work even harder for you. I hope that makes sense, guys. I know it's a little bit confusing. So that's it for this job, guys. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you've got this far, thank you so much for watching. I know they do drag on a bit, but there is quite a lot to get through. We do get some fabulous comments, by the way. I must say, like, since I do these videos, since I started doing them, like, they take a lot of effort. I mean, imagine when you're on site. I mean, I haven't got any cameramen or anything like that, or women. I'm doing it all myself. So, you know, I'm on site, I'm working, I'm trying to get on, and I've got to do all the videoing in the background and think about that. And then I edit it all myself as well, so that takes a while. So quite a lot of work goes into these videos. But, you know, I get some really nice comments, like, really good, you know, saying I'm a good presenter. I mean, maybe I'm in the wrong game, eh? But I really appreciate each and every viewer, like anyone who enjoys watching them. Even if you don't enjoy watching them, at least you watched. But yeah, if you are enjoying, please subscribe. I mean, I do like to release new videos. I need to be doing more. I want to, like, I do a lot of sort of advice videos, you know. There's so many things that I can sort of talk about, and I've got them all listed and I want to get through them, but we're just so busy work-wise. But I do try and get round to them. I get lots of emails from people who watch the videos asking for advice, and I always go back to people and as best I can. So yeah, thanks for watching. It's been a fun one. I've enjoyed this. The system's all up and running now, as is the EV and everything. Let's have a look. Oh, very nice. So let me see if I can screen save this as well. Screen record. Yeah, so I'm going to put this on the video as well. So you can see there the customer's generating 4.5 kilowatts, 0.17, only 170 watts being used in the house. And the battery is taking 3.65 kilowatts and charging itself up nicely. So yeah, 4.5 kilowatts. The sun came out just on cue. Cheers, sunshine. So yeah, 4.5 kilowatts isn't bad, you know, because obviously the back roof there is now in the shade. So that's just these two strings here. You know, the garage helps, just the 4 panels on there, but it still helps. You can see the split, actually, if I try and find that quickly. PV information, there you are. Yeah, that was quick, straight to it. So I can see there that garage is doing 1.0 kilowatts, 1.04, and the front of the house is doing 3.05, whereas the back is 0.1. So that makes sense. So yeah, all good, all good. Another job in the bag, another happy customer, and yeah, the lads are just finishing off. We're going to pack away and get off. I'd like to say I was going for a pint, but unfortunately I'm off the drink. I'm doing sober October, and it's very boring, I must admit. No, actually, I feel a lot better for it, if I'm honest. Been going to the gym. I'm going to the gym every single day in October, so next time you see one of these install videos, you probably won't recognise me. You know, I'll be, I might even fit into Leo's clothes, so we'll see. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've got something from this video, and please do drop us comments and messages, and it's great to hear from you all. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.